In this video you will learn everything you need about temporary tables. Before moving on to the video, you can support us by liking the video and subscribing to the channel. Temporary tables are tables created temporarily on the TEMP database in SQL Server. Temporary tables are divided into local and global. Local temporary tables can be created by placing a hash sign in front of the table name. Local temporary tables are specific to that session only. The table is deleted when the session ends. The local temporary table cannot be accessed from other sessions. Global temporary tables can be created by placing two hash signs. Global temporary tables can be accessed from other sessions. When the session ends, the table is deleted again. Temporary tables can make complex SQL queries simpler. It can be used for performance purposes. Let's better understand how they work by doing an example in SQL Server. First, I create a regular table with ID, first name and last name columns. I am sending 5 records to the table. I can use the SPID store procedure to see the session ID. Session ID 64. I can see the data in the table from this session with select. Let's try to access the same table from a different session. Session ID 66. I can also access the table from a different session. I am adding a record. I can see that records have been added from both sessions. So far everything is normal. The table was created in the Turtle Code database. Now let's create a local temporary table. I add the hash sign to the beginning of the table. I change all table names according to the temporary table. Now let's create the local temporary table. I add 5 records to the table. I can access the temporary table with select from this session. The table was created specifically for this session in the temporary database. Now let's try to access the local temporary table from another session. I edit the table name. We could not access the table from the other session. Because the local temporary table can only be accessed from the created session. It cannot be accessed from other sessions. Now let's create a global temporary table. I'm adding 2 hash signs instead of 1. I update all table names in the code file. I am creating the table. Again, I add 5 records. I can access the table from this session with select. Let's try to access the global temporary table from the other session. We can also access the table from this session. Let's add a record to the global temporary table. Let's take a look at the table with select. Record added. Let's select the same table from the other session. The added record appears from both sessions. In this session, we created global and local temporary tables. When the session ends, all temporary tables are deleted. We can no longer access the tables. If we check with refresh, the tables have been deleted from the temporary database. Now let's do a different example. I create a table containing ID, first name, last name, gender, car make and sales columns. I added 1000 records to the table. I can access all data in the table with select. 1000 records listed. The table is in this format. I want to show the total male and female sales figures in 2 columns according to the car make column. We can do this in many ways. Let's try to do it using a temporal table. I can access the total sales figures for men according to the car make column with this SQL code. I can find total figures for women by using female instead of male. I will use the update codes shortly while updating the temporary table. I create a local temporary table containing ID, car make, women and men sales. There is no record in the temporary table yet. I transfer all records from the sales table to the temporary table with the insert into command. Now I will run these update codes. I run two update commands for male and female. Total sales columns for men and women have been updated. If we group them according to the car make column, we will convert them to the format we want. We access the data in the format we wanted by using a temporary table. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Thanks for watching. To support us, you can subscribe to the YouTube channel and like the video.